What's going on, y'all? What it is. So let's go ahead and jump all over this topic. So Stone Paxton is back with a part 3, and he's talking about Angie Stone and the situation surrounding her. And what I can gather from all this, guys, is that there's a lot of inside turmoil going on. And Stone highlights the fact that there are people inside the circle that are accusing him and his team in regards to forcing Angie to sign a contract. And he also talks about this particular person that was actually envious of Angie, but Angie trusted this person for some reason. Stone also says that this person wanted to low-key beat Angie, and they're just creating all of this friction and unnecessary drama within the circle and making up lies. And in fact, Stone has already said that this person has been warned if they keep on with the buffoonery that they will be sued. Stone also talks about the fact of being exposed to some exclusive information as it pertains to the driver of the Sprinter van that Angie Stone was riding in, and he said that the information was so wild that he had to jot it down. He also discusses Angie's manager, Vassile, and what he did and the money that he put up to help Angie find her publishing and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn it over to Stone and let Stone explain to you all what he had to say. I am going to chop this up because it is a little bit lengthy, but it's definitely worth it. So sit tight and I'll be back.
We're going to get into a few things because I want to talk about the things about the accident. I just want to slowly bring you into that because I have some things that you guys are going to find very interesting concerning that whole accident situation, how this came about. There's 3 people in my life that were connected to Angie, to Stoney, okay? 3 people in my life. And these 3 people were writers with her on the records. You know, one of my friends goes back to like Angie's first record. Tons of people I know were connected to her that I deal with personally. Number 1 was Sharon. She wrote on Angie's earlier record. She was a writer on the record. Close relationship with Angie. Her and Angie were dope writers together on different projects and albums and just all kinds of different stuff. Sharon is still in the entertainment business. You know, she kind of walked away because she just didn't like how the industry was. You know, you can always go over. She has a podcast called Street Talk, and I'll let her explain that to you, why she walked away from the music industry. And it seems like she made a great decision, right? And Juanita Wynn, who actually, Angie called her and was asking about a Vegas residency. And Juanita tours with Angie and writes with Angie on a lot of her hit records as well. And she told Angie, well, my buddy Stone has connections. He can make it happen for the residency. So initially, this thing was about a residency. And Rufus Black, which is my writing partner, him and I have written for Mila J on her record, one of her records together, as well as other artists him and I has written for, but he's written for Beyonce and Angie as well. You know what I mean? So the introduction of Angie, I was dealing with Angie already. She had been hearing my name from Sharon and Rufus. And then Juanita mentioned me again. And so here goes the journey with us moving forward with her publishing. Well, wrong. The residency initially. And then that's when Angie mentioned to me she had an issue with her money and she was owed a lot of money. And even that whole situation with the residency was a whole dynamic with that. But I'm going to go into how all this happened. Now, there might be, and this is for the people that know Angie, because there might be people knowing Angie for 50 years. Hell, there's people that know me for 35, 40 years, right? There's people that have only known me 2 weeks. But it doesn't necessarily make a situation with somebody 30 years better than the situation with somebody I've known for 2 weeks. It's all about how that person interacts with me. You understand what I'm saying? And so for those people, because there's been a lot of talk in the circle, which is why I'm bringing this conversation up. There's a lot of mess going on right now. A lot of mess going on. And so you'll have people that have been with Angie for these many years feel like because maybe I wasn't with Angie for 30 years, that means something. So I'll say to those people, any of you guys watching this that have known Angie for years, one thing about Angie was she would not share her private business with many people. She was very careful and calculated about sharing paperwork, sharing her privacy with how her life is going. She really didn't share the personal paperwork with people. You understand what I'm saying? She didn't share that. Stoney did not share that with people, right? So those people it's hilarious because I got a call about something that I had to address. And I said, well, who cares? Did Angie call on them to help? And, you know, it's funny. People can say whatever they want to say. Angie didn't call these people to help them. You understand what I'm saying? Angie didn't put and trust that in people's hands to go and correct it. So when Angie talked to me and asked me and said, I need your help. Okay. I said, absolutely, Stoney, what we need to do. And she explained it to me. I said, first thoughts were, let me get my big brother on board. Right. I got my big brother, Vassile Benford, and I'm going to post a picture. I want you guys to understand for the fans. This conversation is for the fans. And I'm sorry that I got to backtrack. Forgive me. I know you probably wanted me to go forward, but I am backtracking because there's another story within this story. So I said, you know what? How can I make this effective for Angie? How can I put together my own version of a dream team for Angie, right? I called up my big brother, Vassile Benford. Man, I want you to go look Vassile up. And I'm going to post a picture, okay? This is who Angie's manager currently is right now. And I want you guys to understand that, right? I want you to understand that this is her current manager. It doesn't matter what nobody says because we've been hearing a lot of weird stuff. And I want you to understand the dark energies are working in this situation. And you got sleeper cells within the midst of the circle. You have people within the midst of the circle that are being very negative about our contributions to helping our legend, you guys. You have people in the middle of the circle, inside the circle, that are saying negative stuff about our contributions to helping Angie get. And I'm sharing this with you so that nobody else can share this with you. Because I got a call this morning, right? Now, I'm not speaking to certain people now. Like, I stopped answering my phone because I feel like certain people are bringing certain negativity that I don't want to see or hear. So I had to call my brother and tell my brother about it. But before I could call him, he was calling me. Him and I was calling each other. He called me and he said, Vassile said, I had a dream and Angie came to me. And she said to me, and I'm telling this to you fans, because everybody's been asking me, Stone, are you guys going to keep up the fight? Are you going to fight for Angie and finish out what you guys started? Absolutely. We don't plan to stop. Angie signed an agreement with us and we plan to honor Angie Stone. We don't care about what nobody else is talking. My big brother Vassile does not care about that. So he calls me and he tells me about the dream. And he says Angie came to him and she was talking to him and he said he's been having these dreams back to back. Now, I didn't share with him. I've been having dreams also. So I said, big brother, I said, that's crazy you saying that to me because I've also been having these dreams. And I told him about my dreams. And he said, yeah, I've been having these dreams. Which was confirmation to everything that the fans, you guys have been saying about Angie. Are we still going to move forward? Please, Stone, can you guys please continue to help? Absolutely. We're not walking away from this. We're not walking away from the family at all. We plan to move forward and continue based on Angie signing that agreement. Angie is managed by Vassile Benford, the TBC group. Once again, the picture I just showed you a minute ago, that's Vassile. I'll show it again so you'll know who he is. So you won't have to guess and think who he is. When Angie called me, I called Vassile. I told him that Angie was on dialysis and she was dealing with health issues. He immediately said yes. He said, little brother, listen, I got it. Tell Angie I'm on board. Call her, get her on three-way. I called her, got her on three-way, and we went in motion. Vassile put up his own money. Initial $40,000 just to go search and find out what was going on with the songs, right? Just to find out what was going on with the songs and where they were. Now, you got to understand that what was going to happen was Hold on, give me a second, you guys. I created some notes because I wanted to share some things with you that I hadn't shared. So I have all kinds of paperwork down here in front of me, and he put up his own money, you guys. Just so please understand that. And Vassile told Angie, he said, Angie, I want to help you because my brother passed away from kidney failure. And it's not about the money for me. So you guys got to understand, Vassile is well-to-do. He doesn't need nobody's money. His company is worth $300 million, okay? His entertainment company. So he doesn't need the money. He went into helping Angie because he wanted to. The TBC group, Vassile got everything together, stay Stone, get the paperwork, find out what we need, and we went in motion. It was never about a dime from Stoney. It was about the love of her legacy and who she was. And he began to talk to her about how he was going to, as we were doing that, we wanted to initially take care of getting her the money back first. And then we were going to go into the residency. But then he started saying, well, you know what, let's go ahead and start working the residency out while we're working out the money situation. Once again, that phone call I was telling you about when I was talking about said person and all that. Well, that was my big brother Vassile. He cornered this guy on the phone. He cornered him on the phone and the conversation got heated. That was Vassile. I was on the phone as well. And Vassile let him know. Vassile Benford is Angie Stone's manager. And I'll repeat that again. He is Angie Stone's management. Listen, like I said, once again, I don't do receipts. I don't say receipts. I don't do any of that. But inside of this folder, which I can't show you, are Angie's contracts. It's in here somewhere in the back. I can't show you that for reasons I'm sure you already know why. And you got to understand, my brother represents some of the biggest artists in the music industry. Some of them are even bigger than Angie. And that's respectfully said. And I'm only saying that to make you understand, because there's a dynamic that's happening right now where there are people within the circle that are trying to figure out how to stop us from even moving forward. They're actually saying that, okay, shoot, we don't need y'all help. So the funny part is there's one person that's doing that. And this person is actually spewing negative stuff about the company and about us and saying these negative things. And once again, I'm standing in front of this first so that nobody later on can say something that we didn't cover. There's people that's actually trying to say that now this is what we were told, only going off of what we were told, that we, and I'm saying it to you so that you guys can already have the news, that we force, and under duress, we force Angie to sign the contracts. Now, mind you, Angie was in Atlanta and we're on the West Coast. Mind you, Angie seeked me out to help. Mind you, Angie would always call me and tell me, Stoney, what we're doing, what's going on, what's happening. It's one person it's a sleeper cell, and you know who you are. And that sleeper cell is sitting amongst the family. Yeah, I said it. That sleeper cell is sitting amongst the family and got the family completely fooled. But it's creating this dynamic of drama and, turning people against each other for their game because they want to be famous, y'all. This particular person wants to be famous. Yeah. Now, I'm going to mention that person's name, not on this video. This person wants to be famous. Now, what we're bothered by is the fact that we keep hearing this. This is the second time we've heard this stuff that this person has said. So my brother called me and we talked about it because somebody else said it. So you know what happens when people start saying things and somebody else hears it and it changes and another person hears it and it changes. So there's a sleeper cell in the circle right amongst everybody, and got people fooled. Literally have people fooled. And that person knows exactly, you know who you are. And if I was you, I'd be careful with speaking negative about people and keeping that narrative going, because every time you tell one person, then that person tells somebody. But it started with you lying. We have no reason to have stressed Angie out to sign an agreement. Now, this same person, I will mention names. This same person, I'm going to tell you guys, this same person also was one of the ones that had to do with the booking of the band, the Sprinter. This person was one of the persons that has something to do with, see, everybody's talking about the truck, but nobody has asked who booked that band? Who got the band? Who got the Sprinter band? I don't hear nobody asking that question. I know there's an argument between two people. No, you did it. No, I did it. No, you did it. No, I know you did it. No, you're the one that booked it. No, you're the one that booked it. It's within the circle, you guys. Somebody in the circle were the ones that booked that Sprinter band. But let me go. I'm going to share on the next video. I'm going to share something with you that's going to blow your mind. A conversation that person had with me the morning that Angie passed. And the conversation was rather uncomfortable, but I entertained the conversation because I was crying like a baby. I was screaming, crying. And she told me, that particular person said, I got you on speaker. I didn't give a damn. I was crying. Right? But they shared something with me about the driver. And I wrote it down so I didn't forget it. Because I just thought it was kind of unusual that person would say what they said to me. So please understand, the TBC group, we are the managers. My big brother Vassile is the one that took over everything. This is the manager. And it kind of drove me crazy because, you know, I wish Tyler Perry had spoken to my brother. That's who he should have spoken to. We got a call. I got a call from Tyler Perry's people asking questions about us and our involvement. And then I found out on, you know, the memorial, you know, they didn't even have the TBC group's name on there as a company that had taken over the collecting of all of her rights back. They totally erased us out of that. They totally erased us out there. And this conversation goes deep because it just goes deep. This particular person I'm talking about, we're going to expand on that. My brother is so deep in the industry, you know, and people say, I'm worried about you, Stone. I'm worried about you. Well, I'm not worried about anything. My big brother is one of the most powerful people in the music industry, period. He's one of the most powerful people in the entertainment business. He sits at the table with everybody. There's nothing for me to be worried. And I'm not mentioning the names that you hear people on the internet mentioning. I don't need to do that. But I'm going to tell you about this one person in the circle. I'm going to tell you about that. I feel like this is my mission. He feels the same way. My big brother feels the same way. The same thing that my big brother wants to do and has been doing for Angie's estate is the same thing he did for the BB King estate. They're currently, I looked up, if you go to Trillis, this is a site called Trillis, the case law. I looked up, it's funny because I didn't even tell my brother, but I was, you know, I knew he was handling the situation with the BB King estate. And I looked up on Trillis and looked up the case of the BB King estate. Because BB King's daughter, it's like my mother. I call her Mama King. She just had a stroke and Vassile has been looking out for her and the family. So the thing we do, the thing the TBC group does, the thing that my brother does is not about money. Nobody needs to worry about money when the money is there. No need for nobody to worry about money because you have to spend money to make money, you guys. You got to understand that. You have to spend money to make money. Okay? So that narrative of us, I was appalled when I heard it. I was like, what? And this is what this person, the same person that has something to do with the rental of the Sprinter. And it's an argument between her and somebody else in the camp. You rented it. No, you rented it. I didn't rent it. It's literally an argument with these two people as to who rented that Sprinter van. I think we should start there, you guys. Everybody's worried about the truck. We already know the truck is there. Let's talk about who rented it. Because that same person told something to me about the driver, said something to me about the driver that morning that I found to be very, very questionable. And I'm going to share that with you on the next part 3. Is this 2? It's part 3, part 4. I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying, you guys? Sometimes you have to get ahead of when people think they're going to try to say negative things about you. You got to get ahead. You got to use your platform to set the record straight. So I'm setting the record straight. They're trying to figure out a way to get rid of us from even continuing to collect what we've already started. They're trying to get rid of my big brother in the TBC group and replace it by saying that the contract we had with Angie was invalid. It's not valid anymore because she died. That's what they're saying. There is a sleeper cell in the middle of the storm every day, sitting right there with the family. And it's up to the family to figure out that this person is really not a good person. And I don't care what nobody says. This girl can cry. She can say she's not. She pretends like she's in the music industry. She's not. She pretends like she knows about the music industry. She doesn't. She doesn't have any music industry relationships. She doesn't. But she wants to speak negative about people who have long relationships in this business. You don't do that. You can't be a part of a team and you say you want to help, but yet at the same time, you are being a negative insertion in that system, because negativity only breeds negativity. And if you're in the heads of the kids, even though they're adults, but you know, their mom is gone. So if they feel like if they halfway believe you, there you go. If they halfway believe the stuff you're saying, really what they need to do is look into your history. See how long you've been in the music industry. If they would just take their time and get away from this person for 4 days or a week to think, and tell that person, you know what, can you just, you know, we're going to get you a place, you know, we're going to book you a ticket to go. We need, you know, me and my sister need to talk. Me and the family need to talk. They would figure out that that person that's in the middle, in the midst, is dangerous. And that person also needs to explain to them what was her relationship with this dude. Why did she tell me what she told me, what I'm going to tell you on the next video? Why did she tell me what she said that morning at the hospital about this dude? And I said to her, I said, well, Angie, I said, Angie's passed. I said, what does that have to do with her passing? And she was just upset about this guy. And you know, how it was something he was doing and she was disappointed about. I'll share that with you on the next video. A sleeper cell. So I'm giving you this information, you guys, so you don't hear it, somebody leak it, somebody else tells you something. This girl, guy, whatever, right, says, oh yeah, well, we don't necessarily need them. And you know, they forced Angie to sign under stress. She was stressed. She was crying. This is what this girl is saying to people. She's lying. It's a dangerous game. It's a very dangerous game when you're lying on people that have been in this business for many, many years. Now, if the truth is the truth, it's the truth. I mean, you see me talking about it. I'm getting like in front of it to let you guys know, so that when you hear it, and if you hear it, because she knows if she comes out with this, it's going to be a problem, because she's already been threatened. My people already threatened to sue this particular person. Now she knows who I'm talking about, because she'll hear this and know. And you know the stuff you're saying is not cool. And you know the stuff you're saying to the family is not cool. So stop it. And it's better to stop it while you're ahead, because if you stop it while you're ahead, you actually save yourself a lot of less headaches, because you're lying. You're lying about everything you said. It kind of really makes no sense. And we're trying to really figure out what your angle is. I know you want to be a star. I know you want to, you call yourself an artist. You know, I know you were around Angie. You really low-key envy Angie. You low-key kind of want to be Angie.
All right, so you guys just heard all of that. And I have to say I have a couple of questions. So do you guys remember him saying that Vassile was actually Angie's manager? And my question about that whole dynamic is, if Vassile was Angie's manager, why didn't Angie just go to Vassile to get help to find out where her publishing was? Why did she go to you only for you to turn around to go back to her manager to actually ask for help to uncover where Angie's publishing went? And then on top of that, I understand that he said that Vassile spent about $40,000. I may have cut it off in this video trying to shorten the time, but trust and believe me, in the full video that he did, he said that Vassile spent about $40,000 of his own money to uncover where Angie's publishing went. And my question to that is, well, if his company is worth $300 million, if she came to you asking you to uncover what happened to her publishing and the fact that she was in desperate need for some finances to take care of medical bills and etc., it makes me go back and question something that he said in the previous video, because if you guys can remember, he stated that he offered to take a loan out on one of his rental houses to be able to help Angie financially. Well, if Angie's manager is sitting on, well, not sitting on $300 million, his company is worth $300 million, but he said that Vassile is well-to-do, why couldn't Vassile just front Angie the money until they were able to uncover her publishing and actually get a check, and Angie could have paid him back? Now listen, maybe I'm missing something, and you guys know that I'm not afraid to stand corrected. You could drop down in the comments because I'm not above reproach, but it sounds like that's what I heard. Then on top of that, he said that Tyler Perry reached out to his company or reached out to his people to ask what was going on and what were they doing to uncover Angie's publishing and things of that nature. And it sounds like to me that Tyler is actually working with the family to uncover these missing finances that were owed to Angie Stone. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a big shakeup as it pertains to Angie Stone and her royalties and the information behind it, because something just doesn't seem right here. There's something going on and I can't put my finger on it at this particular time. I have an inclination, but I'm not going to speak on it right now. But what I want to do right now is share with you this text message that I got from somebody that's close to the Angie Stone situation. So it says here, are you going to answer your phone today? I have been trying to get a hold of you. I just got word that they investigated the Sprinter van for a possible cut brake line. This is coming from the junkyard that the van was towed to after it was released from the criminal investigation process. There's also a RN from the hospital that they were taken to after the accident. It says one of the passengers said Angie said she had a funny feeling after receiving several phone calls prior to her performance the night before she passed. They said Angie said she could almost make out the voice of the person who was trying to disguise it, but wasn't sure if it was the person she thought it was. The person who called Angie was a male who said he was part of the staff of the venue where she was set to perform in Baltimore at the CIAA. Angie said dude was being aggressive and asking about her time of departure from Alabama. Angie then asked for his name and credentials and he hung up. Angie called the events coordinator and he said no one contacted her from his team and that everything was scheduled as planned. Call me when you get a chance. There is someone who wants to talk to you. It's urgent. All right, so that's what was sent to me. I'm going to say that this information is all alleged. I was not there to confirm or deny that these events took place, but I do trust the individual that's giving me this information. Now, I want to say this because it's important to note that when Angie unfortunately passed away, she was on her way to Baltimore to perform for the CIAA. So maybe there needs to be an investigation on phone records, who called Angie, incoming calls, outgoing calls, and things like that. But like I said, all this information is alleged. But at the end of the day, something is definitely strange that is going on with this particular situation. That's very peculiar, to say the absolute least. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything that was discussed within this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Peace.